A 10-ounce silver bar can represent weeks of savings. And today there's an uncomfortable reality in the physical market. The moment you buy it, you're not just paying for silver, you're also paying for certainty. If you can't verify what you own, you may not be holding what you think you're holding. This matters right now because higher spot prices, tighter supply at times, and the growth of online reselling have increased both the incentive and the opportunity for counterfeits to spread. By the end of this video, you'll have 3 takeaways. A clear picture of how counterfeit bullion gets into normal circulation. B, a simple 3-layer testing approach that beginners can follow. And C, a buying checklist to reduce risk without becoming paranoid. And I'll also share one detail most people miss: why measuring only weight is close to useless unless you also measure thickness at multiple points. Quick note before we start, this is educational content, not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy or sell. The goal is to help you understand practical verification and risk management so you can make better decisions. The core problem is straightforward. Silver is valuable, portable, and widely traded. That combination attracts fraud. In the past, many fakes were sloppy. Today, counterfeiters can produce items that look mint fresh, copy packaging, and even mimic some quick tests. The result is a market where appearance is no longer proof. What changed is not just the quality of counterfeits, it's the pathway into the market. Decades ago, you mostly bought from local coin shops, shows, or direct from mint channels. Now, a large amount of bullion changes hands through online platforms, person-to-person sales, and liquidation channels where the chain of custody is unclear. When inventory moves fast, the temptation is to do light testing. That's exactly where sophisticated fakes thrive. Here's the cause, mechanism, and impact in plain English. Cause: incentives have grown. When silver prices rise, the payoff for faking a bar grows too. Premiums can also rise during supply stress, which widens the profit margin for fraud. Mechanism: counterfeiters don't need to fool every test, only the tests most people actually use. Many retail buyers rely on a quick magnet check, a basic scale, or a visual inspection. Some counterfeit pieces are engineered specifically to pass those. Impact: the cost of verification gets pushed onto the buyer. Dealers may charge higher premiums for tested inventory. Private sellers may offer deals that are really unpriced risk. And when you eventually sell, you can discover the problem at the worst possible time, when you need liquidity. Think of it like buying a used car that has fresh paint and a clean interior. It may look perfect, but if you never check the engine, you're basically trusting the seller's story. Bullion is similar. The outside can be convincing, while the inside is the question. So who is most exposed? Beginners who don't yet have a routine. Intermediate investors who buy in volume from mixed sources. Traders who flip bars quickly and prioritize spreads over verification. And even honest dealers, because secondary supply, buybacks, estate liquidations, and mixed lots can contain contamination. Now let's get practical. Here's a step-by-step framework you can use. The key idea is layers. You start with cheap screening, then move to deeper verification when the value or risk is higher. 1. Start with source control, your best defense. Cause: most counterfeit damage happens at the point of purchase. Mechanism: if you buy from channels with poor accountability, you inherit that risk. Impact: you may save a small premium and take on a large hidden liability. Practical rules: prefer established dealers with published testing procedures and buyback policies. Be cautious with too good pricing below typical market ranges. And if you buy peer-to-peer, treat it like buying a used phone. You need an inspection process, not trust. 2. Do a basic dimension plus weight check, not weight alone. This is the detail most people miss. Weight by itself can be manipulated. If the dimensions are off, that's a loud warning sign. Use a reliable scale and calipers. Check weight and measure length, width, and thickness. For bars, measure thickness at multiple points, not just at the edge. Why? Some fakes can be shaped or plated in ways that look right around the perimeter but differ in the center. Impact: this catches a lot of low-effort counterfeits quickly. Example: you buy a 1-ounce bar from a private listing. It weighs close to 1 ounce, but it's slightly thicker than it should be. That can suggest a lower density core metal compensated by extra thickness. 3. Run quick physics tests. Good screening, not a final verdict. These are useful because they're hard to talk your way out of, but they're not perfect. Magnet slide test. Silver isn't magnetic, but it can slow a strong magnet sliding down an inclined surface due to electromagnetic effects. Many base metals behave differently. This can flag obvious fakes. Ice test. Silver conducts heat extremely well. Ice tends to melt faster on genuine silver than on many substitutes. This is a helpful clue, especially for larger pieces. Sound test, mostly for coins rounds. Many genuine silver coins have a distinct ring compared to duller-sounding base metals. This is more subjective and easier to get wrong, so treat it as a hint, not proof. Cause, counterfeiters often rely on buyers not testing at all. Mechanism, these tests create friction, impact, you eliminate many scams quickly, but not the highest quality ones. 4. Understand what common Pro Tools can miss. Some advanced devices read the surface or a limited depth. That's not bad, it's just a limitation you should know. XRF, X-ray fluorescence, can accurately read surface composition, but surface readings don't always guarantee the interior matches. Conductivity resistivity testers can be excellent for many products, but certain constructions may still pass if the outer layer behaves like silver. This is similar to a counterfeit banknote that feels right in your hand but fails when you check the embedded security features. One test is never the whole story. So what do you do if the bar is high value or the source is uncertain? You escalate. 5. Escalate to deeper verification for higher stakes. For larger bars or higher dollar purchases, consider professional testing through a reputable dealer or assay service. Options include ultrasonic testing, which can help detect internal inconsistencies non-destructively, multiple method verification, dimensions plus weight plus surface analysis plus another internal focus method, cause higher stakes justify higher certainty, mechanism, layered tests reduce the chance that one blind spot becomes a total failure. Impact, you reduce the risk of discovering a problem only when you need to sell. Example, you inherit a box of mixed silver bars and rounds. Instead of selling immediately to see what you get, you first separate by type and source markings, do basic measurements, and then pay for deeper testing on the most valuable or most suspicious pieces. You may spend some money up front, but you avoid pricing everything as questionable. Now, what should you watch next in the market? A few things are likely if counterfeits remain common. First, a wider gap between verified and unverified inventory, meaning higher premiums for items with strong trust and documentation. Second, more verification fees and stricter buyback rules from dealers. Third, possible policy changes by marketplaces, payment processors, or regulators as complaints rise. It also connects to the macro backdrop. When inflation concerns rise, demand for tangible assets often increases. When real yields and interest rates shift, silver can become more volatile. A strong or weak US dollar can change global demand dynamics, and geopolitical uncertainty can accelerate physical buying. Those forces can increase volume and urgency, exactly the conditions where verification gets skipped. So here are a few non-advice action steps you can take to be more defensive. Build a simple purchase checklist, source, receipt, photos, measurements, and a plan for verification. Define your verification threshold. For example, anything above a certain dollar amount gets professional testing. Keep a basic toolkit, a decent scale, calipers, and a strong magnet are inexpensive compared to a single bad purchase. Document your stack. When you later sell, proof of purchase and test results can reduce friction and improve liquidity. And here's what to track going forward: reports of counterfeits for specific product types or brands, community forums and dealer advisories, premium spreads between highly trusted coins and generic bars, dealer policy changes, verification requirements, buyback terms, testing fees, marketplace rule changes around bullion listings and returns, silver spot volatility and periods of supply stress when scams tend to spike. Mini recap before we close: counterfeit silver is a real risk because incentives rise with price and volume. Visual inspection and weight alone are not enough anymore. Use layered verification, source control, measurements, simple physics tests, then deeper testing for higher stakes. Expect the market to price trust more aggressively. Verified inventory may carry higher premiums. Your goal isn't fear, it's process. If you want to participate in the physical silver market, think like a risk manager. You're not trying to win every bargain. You're trying to avoid the one mistake that wipes out months or years of careful saving. And one final reminder: silver prices can be volatile, and physical bullion comes with liquidity, premium, and verification risks. Manage position size, avoid leverage you can't support, and don't assume any single test or any single seller is flawless.